Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Brokers Traders Espresso with me, Darius Unchauskas. Today's the 10th of September, so 2018 of course. So welcome everyone, welcome to this Monday morning's session where we're going to have a look at a few instruments. But as always, before we do that, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimers. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Also, just a very quick reminder of our JFD Brokers website and specifically our JFD research page, where you can go in and have a look at different analysis that we do on a daily basis. Let me just load up the screen here. There we go, and yep, you can, like I said, you can find a lot of useful stuff here, different analysis. So yep, feel free to check us out. And also what you can do is subscribe here for free, of course, for our strategic report, which we send out every Monday. So yep, you can do that as well, and you'll get it through the email. But for now, let's jump into the charts. Now the first one I want to touch on is the Nikkei. Now Nikkei is at a very interesting spot here. Certainly, as you can see here on a bigger picture, it continues to trade above this slightly longer term upside support line taken from the low of the 8th of September last year. We can see that yep, it's kind of quite a bit far away from it right now, but what's more important, it is trading just slightly above the slightly maybe or let's call it a medium term upside support line or upwards moving trend line here, taken from the low of the 26th of March. Now, as you can see, again, it proves to be a very important line here, as we had our tests here. We had the test we had a test around here around the 13th of August, then a slight overshoot on the 16th of August, and now we got back to it on the 7th on Friday, and we have tested that line again, so from which as we can see, the index managed to rebound nicely. Now also, as you can also note here, I do have this little highlighted area, this very important area here at around 22,355. Now it's currently moving above it here. The index has moved above this line, and certainly at the moment this is creating more positive view and a more positive outlook, at least for the short term. We could see maybe this index traveling a little bit higher back up here towards these previous levels. A good one to watch here could be this 22,800, and if it wants to continue pushing further, we do have another good potential area of resistance here at around 23,050. Now this area is quite an important one to watch here, because as you can see, it held the price from moving higher for a few times here since the end of May, basically. So it continues to prove as a very important level of resistance. So if we would get a nice break here and a close above this 23,050, now this could open the path towards higher levels. We could start aiming for potentially for the 23,500, but that's of course a bit of a long shot here. For now, keep your eyes on this level here, the 22,355. If we do get a nice push away from it, yep, it is opening the path towards the 22,800. If let's say suddenly this trend line, this medium-term trend line decides to break, and the index decides to break it and move below it, and we do get a nice close below this line as well, well, I mean, guess what? This could be looking quite ugly for the index. Maybe at least for the short term, we could see maybe a further drop here towards the 21,850 or 750, but if that doesn't hold, if this area doesn't hold, well, it could pull the index all the way down here towards the this upside support line that I was talking about, that's running here since the 7th of September. We could maybe see a possible test here, and this is where the index could stall for a little bit at least, because the bulls and the bears would start battling it out and over who's going to take the driver's seat from here. So but of course, for this scenario to see, we would need to see a nice good break here and a close below this upwards moving trend line, this medium term upwards moving trend line taken from the 26th of March, the low of the 26th of March. Let's jump into one of the European indices, and that's the FTSE. So the FTSE, that's a daily chart here, as you can see. Overall, of course, we are trading here above this maybe let's call it maybe more of a tentative upside support line here, taken from the low of the 10th of February 2016. We can see that yep, it's kind of currently trying to move all the way down here towards that line. Certainly on the way, we do have some good potential areas of support, as you can see highlighted by this box here. So the first one to watch would be this 71.90 level. Of course, that's in the case if we see a continuation drop here, but at the moment, like I said, this is looking quite weak. We could potentially see a bit of a correction back to the upside, but keep your eyes on this 73.35 level, guys. Now we could potentially see something like this. We could see a bit of a recorrection, and then of course if this level here, this resistance level, continues to hold, we could see more bears jumping in here and potentially driving this index a little bit lower towards this this long-term upside support line that I was just talking about. And also keep your eyes on the 71.90 level. If this of course doesn't hold, we could see further declines, but to be honest, let's not get ahead of ourselves too much, and let's see if it actually completes this move first. For us to, let's say, start looking at the upside, we would need to see actually a nice good push back up here towards this 74.30 level. Now this area here, as you can see, acted as a very nice area of support initially that got broken on the 5th of September. So basically for this one, like I said, we would need to see, for the upside, we would need to see a nice good break here above the 74.30, which could open the path towards higher levels like 75.35, and then of course a little bit higher. But for now, let's just have a look at this scenario, this potential scenario, and keep your eyes on the 74.30. Certainly, I mean, for those short-term traders, I mean, you could probably start arguing, saying that we could already start looking at the possible entering along here on a break above the 73.35. Certainly, I mean, that could be a possibility, but don't forget that we could see something like this as well. So where the 74.30 could hold and also be a nice area for the bears to jump in again. So for now, be very cautious and keep your eyes on the price action. Let's jump into silver now. So one of the commodities, one of the precious metals, and this is the daily chart. And as you can see, we're still holding well, the precious metal is still holding below this downside resistance line taken from the peak of the 14th of June, and of course at the moment we're seeing a bit of weakness kicking in here. The past 3 days here last week, I mean, you can see that they were kind of a little bit flattish, comparing of course to this candle that we saw here on the 4th of September. So for now, be very careful here, guys. For us to, let's say, to start looking at the upside, we would need to see a nice good break here above this downside resistance line. So a break and and especially a close, if we would get nice something like that, then yep, we could start positioning ourselves for at least for the psychological 15 level, or even a little bit higher. But so basically the levels that I'm watching here are the 14.315 and the 14.380. so this kind of zone here. So if we do get a nice break here above these levels, and of course a break above this downside resistance line, this is where it could become more interesting for the bulls. On the downside, well, as you can see, I've got another level marked here, and certainly we are looking at that one right now. This is the 13.985, just slightly a few points below the 14 level. So if we do get a nice break here below this level, now this could be interesting, and we could start aiming for the for a possible test of the 13.645. Now the 13.645 has been a very nice area of support here, last seen in around, let's just put up, there we go, around the 11th of December, and that's 2015. So a very good potential area of support, as you can see from that level here, from this 11th of December 2015. The precious metal decided to kind of reverse here back to the upside and continued pushing higher. So, and like I said, if we do get a nice break here below this 13.985, this could open the path towards potentially testing that level that I was just talking about from the one from the 2015. Okay, guys, let's jump into a few pairs now. Let's jump into, of course, the euro dollar. So let's have a look at that one now. For this one, of course, last week, I mean, it was trying to push higher. It seemed that it wants to move higher above the 116.60 level, but as it got held there, and the bears took advantage of that, of the higher rate, and pushed on, especially on Friday, pushed the pair lower and managed to close the week in the red. So let's jump into a 4-hour chart on this one. And okay, this is just an idea here. As you can see, I've got a head and shoulders here on the 4-hour chart. So for this idea to work out, we would need to see a break and a close below this so-called neckline, and the neckline, the level for the neckline here that I've got is the 115.30. Certainly, again, I will repeat myself. For now, this is just an idea, something to keep in mind. Because for this formation, for us to kind of confirm this formation, we would need to see a nice good break and a close below this, below the neckline or the 115.30 level. And this is where we could, if we do get something like this, this is where we could start positioning ourselves for a possible test of the 114.45, or even slightly lower, just the 113.95 level. As you can see, it acted as a very nice area of support here around the 20th of August, and we could potentially maybe hit that level. But of course, like I said, for now we're just going to be observing this 115.30 level, and we're going to see if it actually wants to move lower below this or not. If this starts reversing back to the upside, for us to start looking at well, much higher levels, let's put it that way, we would need to see a nice good break and a close here below the, or above this 116.60 level. So as you can see, the let's call it the peak of the right shoulder here. I mean, so yeah, guys, keep your eyes on this on the 116.60. If we do get a nice break and a close, well, this could open the path towards the 117.35. As you can see here, this was the high of the 28th of August that we had. And of course, if that doesn't hold, well, it could travel all the way higher, and a good potential area of resistance that we're keeping an eye on is the 118.40 level. As you can see, it proved to be a very nice strong area of resistance here in the past, in June time. So yep, keep your eyes on that one, but only if we get a break above the 117.35. And the last pair that I really wanted to touch on, and that's GBPUSD. Now let me quickly just jump back into the daily chart here, and as you can see here, now this was a very interesting move here on Friday. As you can see here, we are still trading here within this downwards moving channel. Certainly on Friday, it seemed that this channel got broken, but to be honest, the pair never kind of closed above this. So we can see that the bears started kicking in and started taking advantage of the higher rate, and pushed GBPUSD all the way back inside this channel. And now, of course, we're just hanging around here, hanging around this 129.15 level. Let me just put a 4-hour chart back here, and this is quite an important level to watch. So the 129.15, if we do get a nice break here again, break and a close here, especially on the 4-hour chart, we could continue moving, potentially could continue moving lower towards the 128.70, and where the pair could find good support. As you can see here, it acted as a very nice area of support here on the 5th of September, and also acted as a very nice area of resistance on around the 4th of September. So quite an important level to watch. Certainly, like I said, certainly something could be of an interest to those sellers, and but of course for that we would need to see a nice good break here and move below this 129.15 level. If we see a rebound here from this level, we could get back all the way towards the towards this upper bound of the falling channel, where it could be, well, it could start looking quite interesting for the bulls, because if we start seeing a break here and maybe let's say if we get a nice close on the day here above this upper bound of the falling channel, well, guess what, I mean, probably more bulls would start joining in here and potentially driving this one a little bit higher, at least towards this 130.45 level, approximately there. So but for now, just like I said, judging by this picture and especially judging by the daily picture, I can see that the bears are continuing to trying to hold strong here. So basically for a very short term period here, we could maybe see a potential trade possibility here around, let's say, on a break here below the 129.10. We could potentially see something like this. If we just quickly adjust this position here, there we go. So we could potentially look at an idea of something of like this, so where we could aim for the 128.70 level as our TP, and of course put a very tight stop loss here, maybe just around this 200 EMA here, as you can see, as shown as a black line here, like I said, and we could maybe potentially aim for a possible trade like this, but of course for that we need to see a nice good break here below the 129.15, and especially a close below that 129.15. Okay guys, this is, like, again, this is just an idea. Certainly you be the judge. You have your own head and your shoulders, so keep your eyes on the price action, of course, and I hope you have a fantastic day today. And if you want to join me later on at my Traders Tea Time, and that's 13:15 GMT time, 14:15 British Summer Time. For now, thank you very much, and bye bye.